Hey everybody, I'm Tony Perkins.
I'm Gary Stein.
And it's the next episode of You Gotta Be Kidding Me. Coming up on this episode, words are fun.
Oh, that's poppycock.
We're going to review the World Cup and give our opinions on how it all went down. Gary.
Mm-hmm. I'm a soccer expert. That's
Cooties. Cooties. They're back in the news. We'll talk about that. And Hurricane Charley. You and I covered that. It had everything. There was drama. There was danger.
Mm-hmm.
It was really something.
I don't remember.
That's on this episode of You Gotta Be Kidding Me. Why do I set myself up like this?
Always.
Warriors, come on to play.
Okay, here we go.
It's You Gotta Be Kidding Me with Tony Perkins and Gary Stein. No, they're not related. They're just good friends. And now, here's Tony and Gary.
But aren't we all related, really, in this
Yes,
world?
we are in some way. Rob Spiewak, am I going to have to deal with David Patrick Kelly and his Warriors cry for the rest of the run of this show, which is probably going to go for 20 more years?
If you can find me a better opening tape, I will replace it.
But see,
anything by Lin-Manuel Miranda would be good. Anything he's done is better than this opening.
No, but here's what I love. We are not 1 minute in, and already here's the difference between Gary and I, because Gary went right to, Rob, am I going to have to live with that?
Right, I'm aggravated, yes.
No,
exactly.
I'm not aggravated, because did you notice he trimmed it so it's just one time now?
Oh,
and
you
it's
just
not
want to give him credit for everything.
No, I was
Yes,
going to say nice job trimming it so it's just the one time.
What
and
it
it's not
is,
as irritating.
it's an audio signature, Gary. This is what gives us podcast excellence.
Well,
Wow, I thought it was the content Gary and I were providing.
I thought another
that's part of it.
Another podcast signature could be that I just leave and I see if David Patrick Kelly is available to do a podcast with me.
No,
hear what Rob
that's
said?
really not what you want.
That's not what I want, but don't make me do that.
Okay, all right. I'll mind my P's and my Q's.
No,
I
you
said
can
I
do
thought
this
it was
every
our
week.
comment. Rob said, well, that's part of it. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Now, but let me say this
Sorry.
also. I don't know how often you guys read the comments and stuff that we get. And let me just say to our warriors who are growing in numbers, we love that. Who are commenting, thank you. I know we Gary and I both reply to some of the comments and all that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But people are embracing the whole Warriors thing. And one person actually wrote, I should have pulled it up, said, "Where's my Warriors t-shirt?" Now we might, we might have to, we can't use images from the movie, but we
No.
might need to do something.
That's a great idea. We could combine You Gotta Be Kidding Me with Warriors underneath it because that's who the fans are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could have a shirt that says, "I'm a You Gotta Be Kidding Me warrior."
I love that.
Isn't that good?
You know, in all the years we've done a podcast, we didn't have a single idea for public relations. And now we've had a few.
Oh, we've had some ideas.
We have. Yeah. We just need to get some phone calls back.
I'm just gonna, since we're there, I'm gonna tell something but we're not going to use any names. Gary and I did an earlier version of this podcast. It was from 2014 to 2018. Had a ball, did live shows at the what was it? The DC Improv. Yeah. And had t-shirts, and we had a ball. It was great. And the show grew. It didn't grow big enough, that finally we just kind of had to throw in the towel. But one of the things that you do when you have a podcast like this is you do figure out PR strategies. Sometimes you hire a PR team to work with you, and we did do that in a couple of occasions. And some stuff it never really fully clicked. I mean, we had interesting experiences. I know. But here's the main one I want to talk about.
I don't want to get in the way of this story, but I just want everyone to take a moment and taste the energy in the room right now, because it is wild.
It's electric. It's electric.
Woogie. It is electric.
It really is.
Oh, boy.
Rob,
Keep
and you
going,
don't know
Tony.
this. Rob, you don't know this. We hired a few different PR people. On one occasion, we hired someone and paid them money, and they never did anything. They didn't. I mean, we had people that we hired, and they came up with plans, and we instituted stuff. One person we paid, and they didn't do a thing.
Can I do a little follow-up? I won't say a name.
Don't know a name, but yes, go ahead.
So I'm not shy, and we paid this person money. It wasn't a lot of money, but it was what they asked for.
Right.
And we didn't get any contact. We got no phone calls. We got no text. We got nothing. So I called this person, and I said, we paid you, and you haven't done anything. You aren't doing, I mean, we don't know if you're doing anything because we don't hear anything back. Right. And this person said, you know something? You're right. I haven't done anything. And I thought, lie to me, you know, and apologies. I've been meaning to, I've been trying to come up with ideas. I've been, and then I've been very busy. Are you busy with anybody who's not paying you?
Right.
Is it possible that that's what's going? But we tried. We really did try to get some help.
And it just went away. And you say, well, it wasn't a lot of money, but it was hundreds of dollars. It was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Did you pay the rate where they're supposed to do something or the lower rate where they're not supposed to do anything?
Maybe that's it.
The combo platter of what we both paid was to get them to at least do one thing.
Right, one thing, something.
Okay, all right.
But
I just
Gary
want to make sure
actually,
you looked at the paperwork.
And we actually joke about this every now and then. We'll bring it up. And I will get kind of mad, and I'll say, we essentially just gave this guy money.
Yes.
Like he needed it to pay a bill or something like that, and that was it. We never got it back.
No, and I see posts from this person a lot, and I just never go on because it's not a good thing for me.
Yeah,
you know, nothing good can come of it. It was a mistake.
It's not a healthy thing, no. But let me. Will you entertain one question?
No.
Absolutely.
No.
If we were to talk about this at another time in another place without microphones, is it a name I would know?
No.
No.
Okay, good.
But the person would come from a place that you would know.
Yes, that is correct.
Ah,
that is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Duly noted. And you know what? We wish them well.
We do. We wish them well until the mics are off, and then we tell you more about it.
I can't wait to hear the whole story.
I do have to say that I kind of love the fact that we just kind of, I mean, we were chagrined and angry, and you did confront the person, and then we just let it go.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to do? You know,
right. We're not.
Give more money.
We're not punks or chumps, but you know, what are we going to do? Yeah, we're going to sue over that money and then have to pay more to an attorney. But that's pretty rotten, really.
It is, but
smells
you know,
like a Judge Judy situation. Now that would be a great on-air small claims court thing.
Oh my, that would be great. I wonder if he would agree to it.
I think the statute of limitations is over.
Yeah, but not for Judge Judy.
Yeah, I think Judy. There are no statutes on Judy.
Here's the secret on Judge Judy and those shows. We all may know that. I don't know if you know this, Gary. You probably do. But maybe some of our listeners don't know this. So, first of all, you notice all those cases are for $5,000 or less.
Yes.
Because there's a certain, legally, it has to be, only a certain amount of money. And what they do, like when you have the defendant and the, the defendant and the, what's
plaintiff.
The other one? The plaintiff, thank you. I don't spend much time in court, thank goodness.
But you spent a lot of time in law school. It didn't have to pay off at all.
Not even that. Yeah. The producers give each of them $5,000.
Yes.
And then, so what they've been paid, and what they're arguing about is how much of my $5,000 am I going to be able to keep? And sometimes they'll say, you owe him $2,500, and so the guy's like, great, now I'm only walking away with $2,500. Or I'm dismissing it. They both get their $5,000. So it's kind of a win-win for both parties, right?
Yes.
But the real winner is the viewer.
Yes.
Yes. I want to go on Hot Bench.
Is that the one with like 9 judges?
No, there's 3.
Oh.
And I don't know if she's still on it, but one of the judges is like just a tough New York broad, Patricia Domingo. I love her. I love her because she's like Judge Judy, but she's funny too.
And is it hot bench because they're all good looking, or what's hot about it?
Well, you would find it that way, yes. I think it's because you're in the hot seat.
Okay,
You know?
okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
it's fun because
Yeah.
they have very diverse personalities, and they just attack the people. It's
Here's
just
what's
really good.
crazy, though. A couple of years ago, didn't Steve Harvey, someone started doing a judge show who's not even a judge? Is it Steve Harvey or someone else?
I think it was Nathan Lane. I think Nathan Lane did a show with Lin-Manuel Miranda. They were both the judges, and they were amazing. And I kept hoping that Lin would just stay on the show and not write any more music. So that's not what happened.
And all
though,
their
because
rulings were wrapped.
That's right. They were. They were.
All right. We've done nothing that we intend to do today.
And
we
that's
do.
the way this works.
Right. Finally, if we can get to it, I want us to tell the story of, we've talked about covering hurricanes over the years at Good Morning America. Fascinating stuff. At least we hope so.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to talk about one that has everything. Here's the pitch. It's
does.
got everything, Jerry. There's excitement. There's drama, there's comedy, there's danger. We covered Hurricane Charley in 2004, which hit Florida, South Carolina, all that kind of stuff. Category 4, and both of us were injured, which I
Yes.
think we've mentioned before. And then the circumstances were just a little crazy and bizarre. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Scary. I almost cried, I think.
I did cry.
Actually, oh boy.
Yeah,
Yeah. Are you
I
going to
did
tell that?
Yeah. So
All
we'll
right,
talk about
good.
that.
I can't wait
First,
to get to that segment.
I've got a. You're a smart aleck. I've got a
You
segment.
cleaned that up, didn't you? I see. I wouldn't call you a smart aleck. I'd call you a smart ass. And there's no reason to bleep it. We're a podcast.
I know,
You know.
but
I know
you're right.
you're an NBC television host. You got to be careful.
Right.
But
And
I said it. You know.
I'm a little nicer than you. We've determined
You've
that.
always been nicer than me.
Since we last saw you. Okay.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you. I always forget it, but I love it. Since we last saw you. Okay, I'm going to tell you what I wanted to do today. I was going to ask you how many, in the major leagues, how many home runs have been hit during the last week. But it's too hard. They don't keep that as a record. It's too hard to figure it out. But what I was able to find is how many major league home runs were hit on one specific day, July 20th. I think that was a Monday. There were a bunch of games. Gary,
Yes.
take a guess at how many major league home runs were hit on that one day.
Okay, so I can't do that exactly.
Right,
But what's the date again? What is it?
July 20th.
July 20th. Yeah, it's a very important day for me. So there were some home runs hit on that day, but one home run was hit by Mickey Mantle. The other one was hit by don't laugh, Roger Maris. Another one, let me think. Ted Williams hit a home run that day.
Okay, yes. I'm talking about this year. This
Oh.
year. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I should have been more specific.
Oh.
July 20th, 2026.
Yeah.
A week ago.
Six.
Yes.
Yeah, six.
Six.
Six,
Okay.
yeah.
Rob, do you
I'm
want
more
to take a
interested
guess?
in the
Is it
other
a
one,
trick
but-
question? Was it the night of the home run derby? So there's like 1 billion home runs?
I hope not.
Oh, you're very smart, Rob. That's a very good
No,
question.
it was not. I hope not. I think.
Okay.
I mean, because I did research and I would hope it would have said this was the day of the
Yeah,
home
well,
run.
that doesn't really count as a real home run.
Right.
Is
because
this how
it's
you do
just-
your research? I'm just asking because I was the producer. I did all
Well,
the
you did
research,
the
and you would
research.
say to me, "What do you want me to do here?"
Right.
You
I would
realize
say,
that?
can you research this? And then you would
Yes.
come back the next day, here's your research.
Yeah.
And I would glance at it and say, okay, great, thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
please remember, it's an exhibition, not a competition. I will say 15.
15.
Yes.
Six.
Okay. And you say 6.
Yeah.
We're not doing a game show here. You're both
okay.
way off. On July 20th,
You're way off.
2026, in Major League Baseball, there were 53 home runs hit that day. 53.
Is that the day the Major League Baseball broke up? I mean, did they?
You know, that does seem like a
was
lot,
it
doesn't
over?
it? But this is according to Home Run Report.
I
46.
know you love that magazine.
Yes, I still subscribe.
Yeah, are you in that talking about your Beatles fandom? Is that one of those magazines?
That magazine is fake. Sorry.
No, it's actually a website because no one does magazines anymore.
Exactly.
46 different batters, and those home runs combined traveled a distance of 4 miles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that does seem high, doesn't it?
Well,
It seems high
how
for
many
each home
baseball
run.
How many baseball games are played in a day? Because there's a lot of teams.
Yeah, there are a
And
lot
you-
of teams.
And if you could have, maybe 1 or 2 per game, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah,
But I think
okay.
it might be, maybe it was just a red hot day for MLB.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could be. I don't know.
Okay.
And because it could have been, we were talking promo, you and I, where the guy didn't do anything. It's possible that
brought up
they
a raw
arranged ahead of time to have all of those home runs hit on that day.
Knowing
They
that
told all the teams, we need 5 home runs from you.
Right.
Yeah, and they all had to comply because they wanted to get, obviously they're starving for viewers and people
Right.
who pay ticket prices.
And they
Now,
knew
when
that
they
I was
tell
going to
them-
bring this up.
When they tell them to do that, what do? They say, we need you to try extra hard today.
That's right. Yes.
All right,
you get
guys.
Those
you,
home
you get a
runs.
cookie. You get a
Right.
cookie.
Here's what we're going to do today. We're going to try to get some home runs.
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
Today
Thanks,
you try
manager.
to win. Okay, thanks. And he would be called Pops because that's what they call
Right, of
all
course.
managers. Thanks, Pops.
If it's all
Oh.
about trying to win right now, you'd be called the Yankees.
How are they doing? So I'm in Washington, the Nationals. They're batting 500, which is good considered where we thought they would be this year. We've got a couple of guys, James Wood, C.J. Abrams. See, I
He's a
know
good
some
actor,
baseball. Yeah. What? Not him.
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, you want me to give like stats on the Nova Scotia Yankees? Because I mean, what do I know? I'm up
No.
here.
Are you still? You're a Yankees fan, right?
I'm a Yankees fan, but I'm never coming home.
How are they? But you can still be a fan. How are they doing this year?
Sporadically bad.
Okay.
All right. They started pretty well, but they have a lot of injuries on the team, and it's been a really rough. It was a pretty horrible June, and July didn't start out so well. So it's been disappointing.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry to hear that.
Now I can't
Yankees
do the.
fans are unaccustomed to loss. So,
That's
I mean,
right.
the very fact that, they're not already picked to win, that's got to be very sad for you, Gary.
It's very yeah, but you're not going to get me to a place where I'm going to start crying.
Okay.
I'm not doing that for you.
Well, this show is young.
We still might get there. All right, and then one other thing, really quick, in terms of since we last saw you, the World Cup is now over. I don't know about you. So Rhonda and we got together with our friends Richard and Marcia. We had pre-planned this. We went out for the finals. Went to a restaurant that we knew would have it over the screens. Place was jam packed. It was so exciting. And let me tell you, I have not been a soccer fan, but
Right.
this year I have bought in. I watched the whole match. There was no scoring during regular time. In the past, I would have been, this is bull. I don't want this crap. But I was into it. It was very exciting. I'm
I
wondering.
love
how
the way
felt.
you separated bull crap. So you didn't say bull crap. You said bull and crap, which
See?
makes it more acceptable.
Right, isn't that
It's you.
internal editing?
It is. It is.
Yes.
I didn't miss a single soccer match this entire season, this year, and the finals glued.
Okay, who
Yeah.
were in the finals that you were glued to?
Spain
Okay, that's
and
right.
Argentina.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
very
and,
good.
And there was only one run scored.
Well, you know
Well, there
more than I
was.
thought
was
you would know.
There was only one goal kicked.
Yes, that's right. That's
so
right.
people spent 16 hours watching that game, waiting for something to happen, which is why I've never watched a single soccer game, and I'm not going to, and you can't make me.
But you know what? I was just like you. I think the fact that it was here in America, well, not just the U.S., Canada, U.S., and Mexico. The games were all here. The U.S. team was good for half of it, so we were, you wanted the U.S. you could watch the U.S. in action for the first half of the tournament. And I just understood it more, and I don't know.
Okay.
But I'm like the way you are now. That's how I've been. Now I'm in.
Did you
Rob,
look at Ted Lasso?
What's that?
Did you look
Ooh.
at Ted Lasso, which
I
is a
did
good
watch
show
Ted
about
Lasso.
soccer? So
I
there's
loved that series. That was such a great series.
So that might have helped.
but they
actually.
called it football, and I think that helped me too.
And that's what they call it all
Yes.
over the
Yeah.
rest of the
Yeah,
world.
so they didn't call it soccer, so it didn't upset me.
I think soccer would have done better over here if they had hired a PR person that did something. Because I understand they hired a guy, but he didn't do anything.
I think we know him.
How would you feel, Gary, if we, in reading about the success of FIFA this year and the World Cup, if in reading about it, and it was all due to the hiring of PR Wonderkind, and it was the guy that we hired. Like, what?
Yeah, that would. I would quit my stellar show business career. That's great.
All right.
Yeah.
Gary would like to present a segment today called. Well,
Yeah, no, sorry. I'm talking. I don't know why I shouldn't
no,
be
do
talking.
you wanna
I'm
say
not going to say another word the whole show.
No, okay. I'm going to take bets on that. You have a segment that you want to present today called "You Can't Say That Anymore."
Yeah.
Now, but let me just say this for reasons. Oh yeah. Just talking. I love this song. I love the Bee Gees. This was their comeback. This was their comeback. Yeah.
Can you help me figure out how to do the head side to side thing? I can't. That doesn't.
So you
work.
got to just move the neck and the. You know what?
Oh.
Anyone who's listening is like, what are they doing right now?
Absolutely nothing. Can I tell you where this segment came from?
Yes, but can I tell you one thing first?
Sure.
I'm nervous because for reasons we've already established. You know, I don't curse. That's not true. I don't curse on the show.
Boy, they have not produced you. Let me tell you something. You have not cursed on this podcast, really, and not even to Rob. But if they want to hear some cursing, they should just go out on some remotes, in the old days with us, or segments where some things like just didn't work, or we got some grief from the control room or something.
I could be a hothead. That is true.
Well, a little bit.
All right, so tell me about this segment.
No. So I was out with my lovely bride, and somebody was talking about diseases or things or whatever, and we were like just going, oh my God. And I said something like, well, you can't get cooties anymore. and Sarah looked at me like, cooties? And I said, tell me that on the playground, you guys didn't threaten that somebody had the cooties and you had to stay away from them. And she agreed that even though she's 6 years younger than me, cooties was prevalent on the playground.
Yeah.
And so I felt vindicated.
Depends on the school, really.
I don't know. I mean, because now you don't get cooties, you get COVID, right?
Right.
It's different. But cooties was something that you would that was a big insult, right? And it was just,
or threat or fear.
Yes.
Yeah. But here's what's fascinating about this, because you grew up in New Jersey. Where did Sarah grow up? In the South, right? She
was born and being raised in Boston.
Right. Okay.
And then when she started high school, this is culture shock because her father accepted a position with his company to open up the South in his architectural firm. Okay. So she went from junior high, now middle school, in Boston to high school in Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is a shift.
Yeah, but knowing Sarah, right? She was like student class president, even down there, I mean, everybody wanted me out of my school. But Sarah she said, and we've agreed, she never would have dated me. She just would have said he's the funny guy in the school.
Right.
But he doesn't get any good grades of any kind.
And Rob, where did you grow up? Did you grow up around here?
Always D.C. area,
Always,
yeah.
okay, all right.
McLean, then Vienna, and then Leesburg or Loudoun County, yeah.
Kids talked about cooties at your school, right?
Yeah. So they did.
Okay. And Rob?
Almost ironically, I think it was on its way out by the time we were doing it.
He's younger than us.
A little bit.
That's interesting.
And
It's
let
not
me
fair.
grab on and hold on to that. It's nice to be the younger guy once.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember.
But here's what I'm fascinated by with cooties, because we all know it. And you're right. People don't talk about cooties anymore. I don't think kids are talking about, oh, she's got cooties.
No.
How did it become nationally known? How come every school you could say, she's got cooties? How did that happen?
I don't know. I mean, what? Rob just put up a picture of a game or something that says cootie.
There was a cootie bug game.
Well, maybe that's where it came from.
We
No,
will
I
never
think
get
probably-
through this segment. Never.
I thought the game had to come from the playground jargon.
Maybe.
They couldn't create it, could they?
Maybe. But they're
Yeah.
little bugs, so that
Yeah.
makes sense.
So I think the object of this game, though, we don't know the rules, but obviously it would be to lose because you don't want to have cooties.
Well, here's the other thing that's interesting to me about this. And I'm so glad you brought up cooties, because even as kids, cooties had an undertone of, it was a disease, but
Yeah.
it seemed to be a transmissible disease that you didn't really want to get. And if you were a boy, you seemed to get it from girls. And if you were a girl, you seemed to get it from guys. So it was
Yes.
like it was for young children who didn't know anything about STDs, or what we called back in the day venereal disease, VD. It was like a precursor to that. And isn't that weird?
It was, but you know what? When although I think that I came from a very progressive elementary school, because if we said that somebody had cooties, the nurse from the school came out and gave them antibiotics. So I think it was the very beginning of understanding that cooties is not a good thing. It is transferable. You could give it to somebody else, and the school nurse wanted to make sure that you did not get cooties if that particular unfortunate child had them.
Yeah,
I
see, I
don't
think
want
in my
to
school
once
we were-
again. I don't want to derail Gary again, but
Yes, you do.
I never really got the notion that it was an STD. I always thought it was. It felt to me more like fleas.
No. It wasn't fleas, because then
wasn't fleas?
then the
Okay.
cootie person would just itch.
Right.
And
No.
that's not, no. What happened was, if you had the cooties, you were uncool. That's what it meant.
But if you kissed a girl, and I'm talking about when we're little kids, if you kissed a girl, oh, he's got cooties.
Yeah.
Like he
Then-
got it from the girl.
then you'd have herpes right after that.
Fleas.
'cause-
Cooties wasn't like fleas.
It wasn't like fleas,
Do you
Rob.
think
you
I think it's more like fleas than herpes. I mean, there was never a game about herpes.
you know what? You were not part of the cooties generation.
Right.
So
We
so
were
you
just-
can't even weigh in here.
Exactly. We've established that.
And to
Yeah,
be
I
fair,
mean-
I never kissed a girl and didn't have any friends, so it really was outside my circle.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Is that the game that you want, or is that what you wanted to do? Talk about cooties?
I don't even remember. You know, it's just so. You know, it was such a wonderful experience to have that word and then devise something to bring to the show out of just one single word.
okay,
And somehow I feel like I've been derailed, and
I'm sorry. No,
I
go
I
ahead.
have cooties or something. You know, like nobody wants to talk to me.
What did you want to do originally?
So here's what I did do, and you're going to have to open your mail for this, okay?
Oh, okay. All right.
So I came up with a whole bunch of words that you just don't hear anymore.
Oh, okay.
And I sent you some of those words. And the challenge is going to be that we both have to use these words in a sentence.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
right.
okay. I see them. I see the words.
So now, so that means that you kind of, it could be a phrase, and you might have to know what that phrase really means when you
Okay.
say that somebody has it. What does it mean?
So you've sent me words that I need to use in a sentence?
No. I sent you words that you need to get me to use in a sentence, because
Oh.
I wrote all these words down, and then I just took the bottom half of that page and sent it. I didn't reread them.
Okay.
I just sent it. I'm going to give you words that you have to use in a sentence, and you're
Okay.
going to give me words that I
Okay.
have to use.
Well, you go
and if
first.
one of us stumbles, Rob is allowed to come in for the help.
Okay. All right.
right.
I think
Now, we do have some video representation of how this game might have occurred in
We
real
do?
life. Yeah. Do you want to look at that now, Gary?
Well, what I want, I'm glad you brought it up, because you'll be surprised. You always give me a lot of grief for being old-timey. And you know my memory, right? I mean, there'll be a day when I don't have one. But I have a pretty good memory. And I actually remembered that on a Stealing Scenes episode, you said something that even surprised me that I would not have said.
Really?
Are you ready to experience this?
Yeah, okay.
Last week's trailers, because we have found, now remember this, a couple of weeks ago, the four of us who vote all voted for that new Star Wars movie. It went through the roof. Through the roof, I'm telling you.
nobody thought it was going
Nobody thought it would do well. And movies that we say stinkeroo,
Yeah.
they tend to go right in the toilet.
How often do you say stinkeroo?
I
You make fun of me for my archaic,
say it
antiquated.
so often that that's probably why I don't get invited to things.
Stinkeroo.
Stinkeroonie. All right.
my goodness, that is so
How
funny.
in the world did you say stinkeroo?
I don't know. That's a clip from Stealing Seeds, which we've featured some of that show before. And oh my God, we look so young.
That was
I
like
look
2005, Tony.
Oh,
2005.
Stinkeroo.
The funny thing is, in that clip, I'm like 47. And we look, you and I look like children.
We look like
really
kids.
do.
I look like I'm in my 20s. Yeah,
You
but
do.
I'm 40. Yeah, 40 something.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, I remembered you saying stinkeroo, and then I had to go
very
find
funny.
it. Yeah. Thank you
Good
for the
job.
reminder, Rob.
Yeah, good job. Both
Always.
All right, now
All
who's
right.
going to start? Who's
You
going to
start.
start?
You start.
Okay. Well, I've noticed lately that you've had the heebie-jeebies. and so your sentence has to reflect that you understand what the heebie-jeebies are.
Oh, okay.
You see?
Okay. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. No. You don't understand. You don't understand. I don't have cooties. I've got the heebie-jeebies.
Okay.
that good?
Okay. Yes. So what did that mean? What did that mean that you had?
It means a level of discomfort, nervousness, nerves, kind of, right? Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you're uptight. You're
Yeah,
uptight if you
yeah,
got the
yeah, yeah.
heebie-jeebies.
Got the
Yeah, maybe
heebie-jeebies.
Yes, but
And you're
also
right.
if you like disco music, you have the heebie-jeebies.
The heebie-jeebies.
That's a
boy.
different thing.
Oh, boy.
Well,
Rip Taylor, go back into your hole, would you please?
Yeah, I'm
But you're
gonna go
right.
buy
You-
confetti.
You do not hear heebie-jeebies anymore.
No,
You used
no.
to
I
hear
mean,
that.
listen,
All right.
a lot of this is like, if you said this to Connor, if I said any of these words to Ben and Billy, they just would look at me like I'm an old man and I have
fact,
no idea what I'm
I'm
doing.
going to try that later on.
Okay,
today.
use these to see if he knows
see if
any
he
of them.
knows any. I've got one now, but you wrote these, so you know them. But
Yeah, but I've not tried to use them in a sentence. I
Okay.
just came up with words that people don't hear anymore, and I will try to use it.
okay, balderdash.
Well,
Which you
so
don't-
balderdash. First, I'm going to explain what the word means, and then I'll use it in a sentence.
Okay.
When you're almost bald, and all you have is a dash of hair left, then you've got balderdash.
Right. That's right.
But if I want to use it for real in a sentence, I would say, that's balderdash. You don't know what you're talking about.
Right. So it means bull crap, essentially. Right.
Again?
Yeah.
Again?
It's a nicer form of
Shock
bull
jock.
Yeah.
Shock jock.
Yes.
Don't give me that balderdash.
That's right. That's right. That sound like your father. We didn't order that film. That film can't play down here.
I think it's fallen out of use because it's not strong enough. Balderdash.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
you
too
can-
kind. You
Right.
know what? That's why I'm surprised you don't use it, because I would never use balderdash, but you could. 'Cause
Maybe
you're
I'll
nicer
start
than
using
me.
it instead of saying, BS. And
Why don't
see
you?
what kind of reaction I get from people. What do you think about that? That's a bunch of balderdash.
Yeah, they'd fire you. You'd be fired from NBC. They would say, he's so old-timey, he doesn't know what's really going on
That
right
would be
now.
great if I just started dropping in old-timey phrases while
Yeah,
I'm
like
doing
cooties.
the news.
Cooties. Well, that unfortunate young girl
Right.
seems to have the cooties
So when
because
we-
nobody wants to be with her on the playground.
This week, when we do a story about cyclosporiasis, is that what it's called?
Yes,
I'm going to I'm going to turn to my co-anchor Jumi and say, Jumi, this reminds me of the cooties epidemic of the early 1960s. Let's see what she says.
She's going to ask you to leave.
Oh, they're going to cuff you and remove you.
All right, you got one for me.
I do. I
Yes.
do. When was the last time you had the willies?
Oh, the willies. Huh. You don't, willies. I've got the willies. Huh. You don't hear that. And now what are willies? I've got the willies. See, I'm going to kind of go back to the same definition. Is it nerves? Is it anxiety?
You're in the ballpark. Yeah, it is anxiety. It's discomfort.
Yeah.
But it could even be. I got the willies. I think that if you have the willies, you could also be scared. You could be watching a scary movie, and that gave me the willies.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm uncomfortable, but I'm uncomfortable with what I just saw, and you can interpret that in a lot of different ways. I saw that movie. I saw The Exorcist. That gave me the willies, especially when her head turned.
Yeah. And now I wonder if it was ever an official term, like if a psychologist or psychiatrist would say, "Well, that's an example. I think you've got the willies."
Well, that's if they didn't get a PhD. Yeah, they would use that if they were just probably a social worker working on the next step.
This one, I think, I actually love this word, and you're right, people don't use it anymore. Nincompoop.
Yeah. That's what happens when your dog Nincom. Just simply, you go Nincom, not there.
Right.
Not there.
Like
and
Sarah
then,
would come home and say, "What is that on the floor?"
And I would say, "Nincom did it. I didn't do it.
It's
that wasn't me." Yeah. But if I said, you know what, I'm sure that you've always been a nincompoop.
Yeah.
What is that?
An idiot.
That's an idiot.
You're a dummy.
That's somebody. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I want to go to Rob for a second because so far it seems to me, Rob, and you can pull yourself up so we can see you. I mean,
Wait, he doesn't have his pants down.
God, if I could, I would. Hi, folks.
Hi, Guy.
There's Rob. Spiewak, everybody. So far, wouldn't all these words have been used on Three Stooges episodes? Nincompoop, Willies.
Yeah, I think that they
balderdash?
would. Yeah, but they're not limited. No, they wouldn't use balderdash. I don't think that's more of a William Powell world word.
William Powell word.
Okay, that's the Thin Man. We're talking Thin Man.
That will land so rarely with people, but the people that know what I'm saying will agree.
I agree.
That is a William Powell world.
I agree.
World and word.
And Myrnaloy.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
I already
regret.
regret.
I think they're 30s and 40s words.
30s and 40s words.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think so.
Okay. Gary, thank you, Rob.
My
leave.
pleasure. Oh, thank you.
How long was that? 45
That
seconds.
went well.
And in 45 seconds, I got William Powell and Myrna Lloyd between the two of you.
Yeah. It's not a good thing. It's not. I think you can get the cooties from too much old timey. Ask Mike O'Mara.
Right.
So, what does it mean, Tony, when you have the vapors?
Oh, now, see?
Wouldn't your grandmother have said that or something?
Yes. Now, but is that like... I always thought that was kind of a black thing, but did it get outside of our community? Like, would your grandmother have?
Not everything is a black thing.
No,
okay?
but I mean, would you have a grandmother who said, "Oh, I got the vapors"?
I think of it as a Southern thing. I don't think of it as a black thing. I think that, like in Gone with the Wind, I would picture Aunt Pitty Pat getting the vapors.
Is that the name of a character?
Rob.
Yeah.
Rob.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
She stayed with Aunt Pitty Pat in Atlanta, Tony. Come on, let's get
Played by Laura Hope Cruz.
Oh, now I remember. Tom Cruise's mother.
Character actress Laura Hope Cruz.
Yes. Yes. Rob, we are pathetic. We really are. We should get lives.
Can Gary do a guest hit on hits, sticks, and picks?
He keeps threatening to put me on, but he doesn't because he's just like our old PR guy.
Anytime you want to come on, it would be great. Love to have you. This week, we're going to do Strangers on a Train. Would you like to come and talk about Farley Granger?
You're not kidding. I could absolutely talk about him, Robert Walker, and all the rest of the people in that movie.
Okay,
let's set a date. I'd love to have you come on and talk about it.
Go ahead and do a promo. What's the name of that podcast?
It's a Hicks, Nicks, Sticks, Picks, and you can find it wherever fine podcasts are sold. And it's really, it came to me in a COVID fever dream. I said, what if I took a movie that I like and made my friend Josh, who's the producer of the Mike O'Mara Show, made him watch it and then talk about it. And he said, I'm up for that. And I think we've done like 35 films, and he's liked 2 of them.
What?
Yeah. How many was he awake for?
Right. Has
few.
Josh said, these films are balderdash?
He did, and some of them gave him the willies. I do try to choose fine films, and I think Gary will appreciate this. Last week we did The Sweet Smell of Success.
Yeah, love
and
that
his,
film.
which is a great movie, and his opening line was, "This might be the worst movie I've ever seen in my life."
That's what he said when it was over?
Yeah. So
Really?
that was where we started the podcast.
Wow.
All right.
Now, I would not expect that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the love. It's a fun podcast, and we do enjoy it. So thank
You're
you
welcome.
kindly.
And-
And Gary, let's talk. Let's get you on it. I'd love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
you
you'll
guys-
figure
you
out a
guys-
way to thank us for the commercial.
You guys
Of
can do
course.
all that stuff over there. Okay. So what
we
word are
can.
we talking about? Oh, the vapors.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think it's a southern thing. I've got the vapors. The vapors are, and you have to do this when you say it.
Yeah.
I've got the vapors.
Yeah.
The vapors were, the vapors are what you would first feel before getting cooties. You know, it's like chills and.
Okay, I'm not letting you get away with that because you have to be able to know what the vapors, what it is. And I mean,
I don't
the
know exactly what it
Well,
is.
the vapors is when you feel faint.
Okay,
Somebody
well-
said something, and you feel faint, or you simply feel faint, and you say, "I'm getting the vapors."
Yeah.
You know,
But
and
what did that come from? What are the vapors?
that was when I think opium was first coming in, and everybody was
Maybe.
snorting it. One of the things that they did was they would have it kind of like fill in a room, from liquid to vapor, and then you would just stick your nostrils over that,
No, you're probably
take in the
making this up.
vapors, and
You're
then you
probably
would
making
feel, and then you would feel a little bit faint.
faint. I'll bet there's some truth to that. I'll bet there's.
Gary, would you also accept that the Vapors are the band that did the song "Turning Japanese"?
Oh yes, it was my first
Okay.
thought. It was
Why
my
didn't I
first
think
thought.
of that?
Yeah.
Yes.
But I didn't want to throw Tony. I didn't know
Right.
that he would know them.
Yes, I did know
And
that.
join us next week for another episode of Throw Tony. It's a wonderful show.
Throw Tony from the Train. Another movie coming up on Rob's Hit Sticks and my favorite picks. Okay. Now what? Do I have a word now?
I think it's your
we'll,
turn.
We'll do one more of these because I got a lot of words, but we got to do our other thing too. I love this word, gumshoe. What's a gumshoe? You should know what a gumshoe is.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
I
a
do know.
gumshoe.
I'm a gumshoe.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
That is somebody who has a failed acting career.
No,
who
that's not true.
who started out as an actor and then became a producer and then ultimately became the official word for gumshoe, which is a private detective.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And I believe that gumshoe, and I'm not making this up, comes from the fact that private detectives would have to do a lot of walking to trail their suspects and all that kind of stuff, and they would wear their shoes out, and to fill the holes, they would use gum to fill the holes on their shoes.
That's one explanation. The other is that sometimes when you're a gumshoe, you're out for a very long time and you want snacks. So you put gum in the side of your shoe. Sometimes I would, I've been a gumshoe so long, I used to put in chiclets. And I used
So
to
you're a
love to
chiclet
eat.
shoe.
And chuckles. I would put chuckles because if I had just
shoe.
been to a movie, I would
Right,
save
right.
some of those things
Right.
and use them.
Why would you put gum in your shoe? Because you certainly have pockets.
Yeah, but pants fitting well was always a
shouldn't-
very difficult thing. for
Shouldn't there
me.
be a knife in your shoe? Is that what in the old days?
I didn't need the knife because I had a gun on my side. So I didn't need the knife.
Bad Leroy Brown had a razor in his shoe.
Yes, that's right.
He did.
Very dangerous. Even
Yeah,
as a
that
kid,
is.
I remember thinking that is dangerous.
It's a terrible way to clip your toenails.
Because he didn't have any hair on his feet, though.
No, he didn't. The hair on
is
your
a
feet is
bizarre-
unsightly.
This is,
It's
all right.
unsightly.
That's enough. That's enough.
Wait,
this is a
I
bizarre
want one,
show.
but I got one more word. I got to give you
Okay.
one more word, and we have
Okay.
to end on that.
Okay. All right.
It's an easy word, and it's a word you use all the time,
Okay.
so nobody else does. Poppycock.
That's poppycock.
Yeah.
Again, these are all family-friendly phrases for BS.
Right.
That's poppycock.
That's right. That's
And
right.
That's
I think all these words suggest that we do come from a kinder, gentler time, like World War I and II.
yeah. And I like these words, but you're right. They have certainly fallen out of disfavor. Poppycock.
They have.
I like that.
I've got many more words. We could do this again sometime.
We'll do it again sometime.
Yeah.
And that's called You Can't Say That Anymore. You can't say it, but no one would know what you're talking about.
No.
Okay. All right. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to talk about our experiences covering Hurricane Charley. Hurricane Charley. Charley was a bad one. That's a bunch of balderdash.
Bad Charlie Brown.
Hurricane Charley in
Yeah.
2004. We'll do that when we come back.
Yeah, because we ain't talking Hurricane Francis. Oh, that's William Powell. William Powell. There he is.
I do
looking
remember
just
him.
like Myrna Loy.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program. You gotta be kidding me. No, I'm not kidding you. It really is an outstanding program. It's called You Gotta Be Kidding Me with Tony and Gary.
Donnie Simpson.
Oh boy, I'm so glad he doesn't give me the creeps
Or the Willies.
or the willies.
I just realized, I didn't just realize this, but you may note that my name on this episode is One-Eyed Perkins.
Yeah.
And neither of you have commented on that. The reason I did that is because of the story that we are about to tell.
Yes, but you always have a squint. And because of that, I didn't want to say anything about. All through our career at Good Morning America, I always thought you were winking at me.
No, it wasn't you.
It wasn't me. No. Oh boy. Okay.
So
let's move on, Tony.
Let's talk about. So Gary and I, we've mentioned this a bunch. So we got to do so much on Good Morning America, and frequently what we talk about are the interviews with people like what is this? Why are we,
Where's the patch?
Sammy
Where's the
Davis
patch?
Jr. because of the one eye.
Oh my.
That's where I went. I don't know. All right. Bye, Sam. Groovy,
boy.
baby.
Very famous.
In my head, I went to Dr. Cyclops, Albert Decker. Okay, let's
Now,
go.
who is that? Who? Albert Decker?
Albert Decker, who had a very big career as a character actor,
couldn't
didn't
have
do
had that
so
big a
well in the
career.
50s,
I
and
never
he
heard
wound up doing the movie Dr. Cyclops.
Oh, and did he have one eye in the middle of his head?
No, not in the middle of his head, no. But it was, and he had his own island, and I was thinking, poor
Again.
Albert Decker,
Again,
you know.
Again,
What?
tune in to Hits, Sticks, and Pickup Sticks, featuring Rob.
I thought we were doing the episode.
Spiewak.
What did you almost say?
Be careful. Be very, very careful. I can take a lot of stuff. Don't like that one.
No.
Starring Rob Spiewak and Josh
Soroka.
Yes.
Did I ever tell you about my
Albert
first
Decker.
car? Ever tell you about my first car?
What's
Never
your
mind.
first
Please say
car?
it was a Chevy, please. I pray.
It was an Oldsmobile. Never mind.
What am I missing?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
All right, I'm missing
Nothing.
something here.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, the hurricane. Jesus.
Short attention span theater.
We got some problems. Thank you. Oh, perfect. Thank you. Rock you like a hurricane. And listen, we were rocked by Hurricane Charley, Hurricane Katrina. Although Charley was worse for us because of where we were, Katrina, we were positioned a little further away from the action because the thinking was it was going to be so massive, and it was, but people forget that it was downgraded right before it made a landfall. Katrina is what I'm talking about.
Tony, that's not the way to describe what happened. Really.
What?
We did our best to go from east to west. We got into Alabama, and we made it our mission to get into New Orleans because we are reporters, and we did everything we could.
Yes.
But we noticed that all the traffic was coming out, and it was going west to east, and we pushed our way through the crowds, and we did everything we could until our SUV got crushed. And then we couldn't get west, and we stayed there, and we reported anyway because we're professionals.
Is that true?
No. Yes, it is true that we did everything we could to push west.
Yeah.
And we couldn't because the cops were pushing everybody this way.
Oh, okay.
And I had to call the control room and tell them that we couldn't get to New Orleans.
Okay. You have such a I wonder if there's something wrong with me. Your memory is so much better.
No, I would actually say that there's really something wrong with me. And that only part of it is my memory.
Yeah,
No,
but this
in all seriousness, Gary, you produced for so long. I've produced for a long time. I think producers have a weird memory chip.
I think you're right.
Things stick in their head. Like, I'll tell Mike O'Mara stuff that he did, that
Yes.
we did together, and he will not remember it.
Well, I've done that with Tony too.
Yeah,
so
and
I think
see
you're
it happen on this
absolutely
show,
right.
yeah.
I think, Rob, I think you're right because, but think of it this way: because as producers, you're so involved in putting the whole thing together, and you remember the difficulties and the tricks and whatever you had to do to make it happen. The talent, quote unquote, then we kind of breeze in, and we know what we've got to do, and we do our thing, and sometimes without awareness of everything that happened.
Well, that's it, Tony, because the pressure is on the producers. If it goes down, it's not going down because something, if you got sick, you got sick. But our thing is we got to get it on the air.
Right.
I have to find something that they're going to like on the air.
Right.
I have to find people to interview in a hurricane who had damage to the house. They lost their car. Right. I had to interview people ahead of time, and I'd be up like all night while you were sleeping.
And here's one of the things that you don't know. So now we're in it. We're in it. What's that? What'd you say, Rob?
He didn't even accept it, Rob.
That the producer was like the hero, which Gary took the soccer ball and ran with it.
I did.
But what I mean is, I think that deep down, all three of us agree. We have different amounts of enthusiasm that we agree with it with.
We agree with it with.
But
producers also aren't great at grammar. That's another thing. So.
But here's the other thing. I mean, because yes, the pressure's on the producer, but the pressure is on the reporter as well. We've got to present the story in a right way. We've got to, get to this and that and all that kind of thing. And so, I mean, we've got our own pressure.
I'm going to expand this in a very generous way.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was incumbent on Team Perkins. Whenever they sent Team Perkins out there, we had to do a great job.
Yep.
And there was always pressure. The pressure was different for you because you knew that you had to be great on camera.
Right.
I knew that I had to be great behind the scenes to make you look the best you. I said that to you in our interview when I came into your office to interview for the job. I said that my job is to make you look good every single day and to give you good ideas and to collaborate with you on ideas.
Yep.
And that's what we did.
Yep. One thing I want to comment on that you mentioned is, so hurricane coverage. You're up for 3 days at a time. Frequently, usually you're on site for 3 or 4 days because there's the storm approaching. There's the storm. There's the aftermath.
And you can't get back, Tony.
That's what I was going to say. You can't even get back right away because flights are canceled and all that kind of thing. Literally, Rob, and all of you listening and watching, I remember a couple of times where Gary would, as you just mentioned, you would be working all night long on whatever, and you would just say to me, just go to bed, we'll get you at 3 o'clock, 3:30, whatever needed to be, because I did need to be on the air. Yeah. And so, sometimes I'm asleep. It's fitful sleep because, you're probably staying in a hotel where the power has gone out,
Right.
Frequently you're sharing a room with, other crew members and stuff. And, it can get a little rank.
There were always women.
Well,
So that
no,
was
there
good.
were not women.
So it wasn't you and Diane Sawyer
Okay,
in
no.
the same room?
No.
Okay, just checking. I want to paint a picture.
Mike Nichols would not have enjoyed that.
Right, that's right.
Or maybe he would.
You never know.
Okay, let's keep going.
Yeah, let's keep going with the actual facts. But, so we would get soaking wet. And soak wet, and for all the coverage and all that kind of stuff. And then sometimes the toilets aren't flushing. So these were not beautiful conditions. Gary, we've talked about the fact that, you've mentioned before how, and I'd forgotten this because I've always said, we had to rough it. The hotels where we're staying in are they've lost power. Sometimes they're flooding. But you pointed out that wasn't the case when we first got to town.
No, when we first got to town, we were put up in a 5-star hotel because they knew what we were in for.
Right.
And so you and I knew how to take advantage of that. We would go out to the best restaurant in town that was still open, and we would put it on the ABC American Express card.
Right.
And and to be fair, they told us to do that.
Yeah,
That's not us being, even though I bought a lot of clothes.
That's not true either.
No. Listen, I don't work at a network. You can't protect me. It's okay. So we would go out for a great night because we knew that the next day we were going to be living out of an SUV. Yeah. We would buy a case of Nutrigrain bars and water and
Maybe
whatever else we needed. And it was
chips.
and I wasn't really the roughing it type. And I think I've told you this. When I got hired for the job, they told me that I was going to be your weather producer and that we would do entertainment interviews and segments and concerts and all sorts of stuff. Do you know that at the interview with our executive producer, nobody told me that I was going in the field to cover hurricanes?
Wow.
And
Wow. Well,
I didn't know, and I wasn't the roughingest kind of guy. I got better at it. You had to. Either you can't do the job or you just get better. I wasn't good at having a bag of clothes and, toiletries and things under my desk, because sometimes a producer would come into my office and say, we're sending you to Dallas. We think there's going to be bad weather down there somewhere.
Yeah.
And I wasn't good at not knowing where I was going and why I was going there.
Yeah,
I got really good at it.
You got very good at it, and I mean, there's a learning curve. Listen, I didn't know what I knew what the job entailed, but I had never done that kind of coverage. So I had to get good at packing just what you need and not bringing 2 suitcases like I'm going on vacation, whatever.
You can't.
And being okay, getting soaking wet and not being able to fully dry off, whatever. And it had its own sense of excitement and adrenaline that would get you through a lot of it, but it was miserable work, really, because this is the thing I always say. You would get there, and we would be as prepped as possible. We'd have a little shelter if necessary. We'd be, the hoodies and everything, gloves, boots, everything tucked in. It would not matter in a hurricane. You would come back and you're drenched to the bone. I might as well not have worn any protective gear.
Right.
Gary, I have a question because network executives, and I've dealt with a few, if you have to describe them in one word, it would be honest. When they were interviewing you and they didn't mention, I know, who said that? But do you think that your role as a weather, hurricane, disaster coverage producer, did it evolve, or did they purposely not tell you that to make you want to take the job?
I don't think that they purposely left it out. I know that the main thrust of the job was that they wanted a weather producer who had a comedy background.
Right.
And because they said, Tony's a stand-up comic who's a weatherman, and we don't have a dedicated producer for him, and we want a dedicated producer who will do the weather and somebody who will help on the entertainment side by producing fun stuff for Tony. And I was recommended to the show from someone I worked with at the FX network, who was now back at Good Morning America, and she said, I think I have the guy.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's proven to be a great combination, you two. I would
It's,
love to have worked with you just to see you at that time in that environment. It had to be, as you said, thrilling and miserable at the same time.
And listen, the whole run. So 85% of the job certainly was, producing me in the studio or my remotes, funnier, upbeat. Gary would find interesting people in the crowd and then tell me, we got this guy over here. Maybe you want to talk to him, blah, blah, blah. There's so much that goes into it, which I love about the business, because people just see the tip of the iceberg and you don't know, all the stuff that has gone into it. But 85% of the job was for us to have fun and do funny and clever things and all that kind of stuff. But then, the other part was this hard, intense news coverage, leading the show. We're the first thing that they come to. And Gary, Gary and I give each other a lot of grief, but Gary was great and came to. I mean, I think we both grew in it because it wasn't really in our wheelhouse before. I'd covered snowstorms and stuff locally here in D.C., but I never got sent away to cover something. And that's a whole different thing, the travel, all of it. And we got very good at it. It was the whole experience, even in the midst of horrible stuff. I remember once, I don't think it was New Smyrna Beach, but I remember once, and I think we were together. Sometimes we'd get separated on different things, but wherever we were, I think it was Florida. No, it wasn't Florida. Wherever we were, it was a big storm. I was there. I believe Roker was there. Anderson Cooper was there.
Yes,
and
I remember this.
Yeah, and we were all standing in these floodwaters, and someone informed us, "Hey guys, be careful. This was a little zoo here, and the alligator is missing."
Yep.
And we're like, what? And I remember hearing Anderson, who I met that night. Don't think I've ever seen him again in person in my life, but I remember Anderson Cooper saying, "Oh, we're not doing this," something along those lines.
Yeah.
And we're getting out of this water if there's a alligator swimming around out here.
I remember that it was the end of a road, and the whole road flooded, and so we were all. Roker and Anderson Cooper, who we saw at lots of remotes in those days, that's what he was doing.
Yep.
So we would all be together and see each other and go, "Hi, another storm, another storm." You know.
Yep.
And
Mike Seidel from the Weather Channel, we used to run into him.
Did you ever run
and Jim
into
Cantone back
I
then.
was going to ask. I
Yep.
bet he threatened to
Jim
beat up
Cantore.
the alligator, didn't he?
Yeah.
Cantore
He
was just
threatened to
gonna
beat up
punch
the
him in the
alligator. Don't worry, guys, I've got this.
Yeah. So I don't remember exactly where that was, but and I know that we're not getting to New Smyrna Beach because I just wanted to say that one of my memories, it's such a terrible thing, and I think I said it on the old podcast, but we were in New Orleans, and it's probably the same day where we have to show that wave of water when a car went by.
Yes.
Just completely took you over and the guests you were talking to.
Yep.
That was hysterical.
Yeah, it was very, very funny.
And I got wet too, but not the way you did.
Oh, my
but
God,
it was so
drenched.
windy there that I remember there was a Jeep parked at the curb. We had all this electrical equipment out there for the lights, but there was a spare electrical cable, and I tied you to the Jeep.
Oh,
do
yeah.
you remember that?
I remember this clearly. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it wasn't punishment.
Right.
I didn't. You weren't like this against the Jeep.
Right.
That was a different decade. But I gave you room,
Right.
to be able to move. But I was worried.
Yeah.
That it was so windy that we
Yeah.
both could get blown away.
I mean, there were times where, you had to be strapped down because you're really, the wind is blowing so hard. And, part of it's a little bit of a show, but it's not really. We're also kind of protecting ourselves in case all heck breaks loose.
I never saw worse wind than New Smyrna Beach.
So New Smyrna Beach, and I envisioned us talking about this for a long, long time. We're not going to because we're late in the show now. But let's talk about that because that was one of the most dangerous situations we were in. It was Hurricane Charley in August 2004. It was the most recent. I don't know if you remember this, Gary, in a string of hurricanes that happened that year.
Oh yes.
Pummeling the southeastern coast of the United States.
Was it right before or right after Francis? Because that was
I think
also
it
August.
must have been before because alphabetical order, so it was before Francis. But
See, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. See, sometimes
Bad in school. Very bad in school.
So we go to New Smyrna Beach, and it's horrific. The winds, and sometimes when you're reporting in the morning, okay, the storm has passed through the night before, but we were in it.
We were in it.
We saw awnings being ripped off of buildings and all kinds of stuff.
We saw stuff going down the highway. There was stuff
Yes.
just going down the road.
Yeah.
And we had all of our equipment. Our operations producer, the best of the best of the best, Paul Erdek,
Yep.
was our guy.
Yep.
And we asked for him on every hurricane we went on. We didn't always get him, but they were all good at GMA.
Yeah.
He was the best. And this was the most telling, taxing job for him because it was way out of what an operations producer normally does.
And so just to say, an operations producer, he would get there ahead of time. And just as Gary is working with me and our crew, Team
I'm
Perkins,
doing content. I'm looking for content.
Right. But also there's a degree of, are we going to be able to do this? Are we going to be able to do that?
Yeah.
But Paul and the other operations producers, managers, whatever, would get there. They have to make sure in a hurricane we somehow have electricity.
Yep.
or that we can get our satellite shot out,
Right.
the downlink and the uplink,
uplink.
and stuff that I don't know what
And
it
a
all
backup
is.
plan if something goes out. Those guys were always ready with another way to do it.
Right. Paul was great. We should get him on the show sometime because he was great.
You know what? I know how to get in touch with him. Let's get him on the show.
Because he would remember stuff that we don't remember.
Right.
But here's what we do remember.
Yeah.
So this was the hurricane where during one of the particular days, well, you pick it up because we were in a location where there was sand.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We at first we thought we were going to wind up doing this segment up on the roof of a parking structure. There were columns and there were doors, and they were all glass, which concerned me when I saw that. But I remember at one point when we decided we couldn't shoot there, this is the first time it ever happened. I'm behind a column, and I'm getting ready to pull myself out and through that door that I see down there. As I move out from behind the column, I am thrown back behind the column. And no matter what I did, I couldn't get myself out of there. And I started to panic a little bit. And finally, I think there was a little lull in it, and I got myself through that door. I could hardly get the door open, and then I thought it was going to rip off. I went down that hallway, and I saw that there was a door and sand and beachfront, and that's where we decided to shoot. So it was dangerous. Paul repositioned everything that we needed to do to be out there. And when you were blowing around and could hardly stay on your feet. Now we have some footage that we can't show it now. I just thought of it, but I do have some footage of you just from New Smyrna Beach trying to stand up. And it was amazing.
I remember.
Was that because of the dinner the night before?
Yes, it was. It was too much. It was a 5-course meal at a 5-star restaurant.
I understand.
We are
Yeah.
telling a serious
He had surf
story,
and turf.
a
He had the
dramatic
surf and
story
turf.
here.
Okay.
Yeah, you interrupted.
I withdraw the remark.
Yeah, go away. Yeah. Go play with the cooties game, okay? So there was sand blowing sideways
Yeah.
all through that segment. Now, we did 4 weather hits.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, I mean, actually, it was like by the second or third hit, I was wiping my eye, felt like I've got sand in my eye, couldn't get it out. Couldn't stop my eye from running. An hour later, as we're cleaning up the remote, I couldn't get my eye to stop running. And I realized, I think my eye is injured. I think, and I said to Paul, I don't know, there's something wrong with my eye. Now, we came over a bridge to get to the parking structure.
Yeah.
On the other side of the bridge, happily, there was a hospital. Unhappily, the police said to us, you can't go over that bridge because it's shaking.
Right.
And if you do go over it, it's at your own risk. We will not come and get you. We are not responsible for you. We're telling you, don't go over the bridge.
And again, this is in the midst, the storm is happening. It
Yes.
is happening. Palm trees blowing around, stuff flying around, and a bridge literally shaking.
Yes.
Crazy.
The Wizard of Oz house from
Yeah.
Kansas was
That came
spinning
by.
right above
Right.
us
Right.
and could not land on the parking structure. And Dorothy was so dizzy. So Paul said, I'm going to take you to the hospital. I wanted to say, well, you shouldn't. I went, really? You will? You know what? We have to have him on. I want him to tell the story about what it was like on that bridge going over. This guy, this hero, took me there, waited there with me. They put drops in my eyes, and it immediately stopped the pain, and they said, you have a corneal abrasion. They put a patch on my eye, and he drove me back. And later that night, we went back to our hotel, which had no power at this point. It
Right.
was like a bed and breakfast kind of
Yeah,
hotel.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was.
so-
I'm
go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead. It was like a bed and breakfast. And so I had been there waiting, and again, it's a bed and breakfast. Oh, that sounds nice. There's no power. There's the group of people there is just an assembled group that's stuck there.
Yeah.
The woman who ran the place, wonderful. I don't
She
remember
was
her name.
amazing.
Right.
She was amazing.
And she was coming up with meals and stuff for I don't know how, but it's raining, it's dark. We're using candles and flashlights, so it wasn't some comfortable thing. It was pretty miserable,
It
and
was
I'm just
miserable.
waiting for you to get back. There's thunder and lightning, and
Yeah.
finally Gary gets back, and he's got this patch or what was it,
I
like
did.
a gauze or something? On
No,
your
it
eye?
was a black patch. It was like a pirate patch on my eye,
Right.
There was gauze under it.
Yeah.
And I had the patch over it to protect the gauze.
And I said, what happened?
The room was dark.
Yeah.
I was like feeling my way around the bedroom that I was staying in, and you came in to see how I was.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell the rest of this?
Well, Gary told me I've got a corneal abrasion, which sounds really bad. Luckily, it's something that clears up after a couple of days. I guess you put some medicine on it, whatever. But and you know, he had been not rushed. He'd been taken to the hospital. Blah blah blah. Now he's back with this. So now Gary's out of commission. He's not going to be able to finish the remote or the job. And I broke down and cried because, and I think we hugged.
Yeah.
We kissed a little, but no.
Just it was only foreplay. It was only foreplay.
That's it.
You know what?
Because I felt bad because I felt like I have gotten this guy, this comedy producer, entertainer, into this job, and now he's injured, and I didn't know how serious that injury would be long term. Fortunately, it wasn't, but I felt so horrible.
I felt so bad that you felt so bad. I remember that when we hugged, I said to you, you didn't make me take this job. I took this job because I wanted it. Yeah. This is not your fault. You don't have anything to do with this. And they sent me home. They sent Bill Cunningham, another producer from New York, to do day 2, to do the next day. But I wasn't there. Why don't you tell what happened the next day in New Smyrna Beach and then beyond?
Somehow, I didn't learn because, you know, the next day of coverage, we're back out there on the beach, and sand gets in my eye, and it's very painful. It's very, very painful. I end up having to go to the hospital, probably the same doctor. Mm-hmm. You know, I remember him rooting around in there and putting drops and everything in because you got to flush it out. But the grains of sand, you know, the sand gets in, and then as you're, well, you were doing what you shouldn't do, but what one naturally does, you're kind of rubbing your eye. That is rubbing the sand on your cornea, and even blinking does it. And
it's like sandpaper. It's very smart.
Right. It gets that's what causes the abrasion. So then I had one. Also, the gauze and the
patch.
Eye patch. And
now I didn't know until I tune into the show the next morning because I'm back in New York.
Right.
And I get up to watch the show with my one eye.
Right. But in the meantime, before whoever was producing me at that point, or maybe it was me, I told the control room, I said, listen, just so you know, the same thing happened to me that happened to Gary. I have a corneal abrasion, but I'm fine. I can still do the show, but I have a patch on my eye. And they thought, that's fine, you know.
But you told them that in case they wanted to make a change, because you gave them the out to say, I don't know if you want your weather guy to have a patch on his eye, but I have to do this.
That's right.
And that we're fine with it, we're fine with it.
Yeah. Then we go on the air. Gary's in New Jersey. It's like, what? did part of you wonder, is he just doing this because it happened to me?
No.
You know?
No.
I didn't think he was making fun of you, did he?
Right. Right. Here's what happened. But I've got a patch on my eye, and you know, I do my report or whatever. Immediately after the report, we get a call from the control room. It's like, that's it. Tony's done. That looks really bad, and it's you know, he should not be out there reporting and all that kind of stuff.
And you were upset because you got up at 3 a.m.
Right, and I wanted
you got yourself ready to go do the remote. You had already warned them that you had a corneal abrasion.
Right.
But they needed to see it on camera, Tony.
Yeah.
If they had to see what it looked like, you could describe it. They think that they're good with it.
Yeah.
Once they put it on camera, they went like, no, the audience is going to be really freaked out and feel sorry for him.
Right.
And they did the rest of the weather hits. The other 3 were done in the studio, and they brought you home.
Wow. That's crazy. Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy.
But
crazy.
There's so much that goes on behind the scenes. It's so fascinating. And, you know, you and I have said this, and shame on us for not having done it. We should have written a book 20 years ago.
I know.
15 years ago, because there's so many stories. and it's all, to me, it's very, very interesting. Maybe we could still do it. Maybe, I don't know
We
if
should
it's
do
too
it, and
late.
we're late to it, so why don't we pick a title of a book that's already been out and just, why don't we call it The Color Purple and just, just some bestseller, and then we'll do our story.
You know what? Now, we probably can't do that, but The Color Purple too,
I love that. And you know what we can do to make sure that we do really well with it?
What?
Let's hire the same PR guy that we hired to do the podcast. And this time, let's just pay him half. Just half to do nothing. Okay?
We'll be like, we've named it The Color Purple 2.
Yeah.
It sells itself. What are you doing?
We've done all the work for you.
Anyway, we should at some point get Paul Erdek, who was our operations producer, because he could fill, I remember stuff, you remember stuff. He probably has his own memories.
I already know that Paul remembers this remote really well, and I was surprised to find out that even for him, this was one of the most difficult ones, and he remembers the whole thing about the corneal abrasion. We definitely have to have him on.
I also, we're out of time, but we're going to do New Smyrna Beach Part 2. It's just a quick thing.
Yes.
Because we want to talk about the place that we stayed.
And the people.
The people there. It was wonderful. I mean, it was uncomfortable.
I actually have some footage. I found
You
it
do
on
have
YouTube.
footage?
I do.
Oh.
It's not new, but I think it's what you're looking for.
Oh, well, okay. Would you play it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the people from the hotel.
Oh, is this Key Largo? The movie Key Largo? Okay, so
Oh, it's the Key Largo hurricane.
So, yeah, they're in the hotel.
Ask you a question, you hear me?
The storm is...
Well, the worst storm we ever had was back in 35.
Lionel Barrymore messes with him.
Whipped up
Mr.
a big
Potter,
wave
right?
and sent it busting right over Matacumba Key. 800 people were washed out to sea.
How far away was that from here?
A few miles.
I love this movie, and I love that scene because Lionel Barrymore knew that Edward G. Robinson was having a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
Was he really?
Yeah, well,
Rob.
because he was terrified of the hurricane.
Now, Rob, come join us for a moment, because
thank
I
you.
know, you find these clips and these images, and it's a lot of times it's for fun and for laughter. But can I tell you something? First of all, remind me, is Edward G. Robinson like a weatherman? What
No,
role
he's
is he
Johnny
playing?
Rocco. He's a
Johnny Rocco.
Oh,
gangster.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's
and,
right.
And total fairness, Gary found the clip. It was
Okay.
Gary's idea to go with the clip, but I
So
totally support
You didn't
it.
have to say that. You're
Okay, but
you're
let me
just you're as
say
nice
something.
as Tony.
But let
Eh,
me
not
say
really.
something.
Yeah.
That clip actually kind of captures the ambiance of where we were when we were staying. It was like
That's
a
why
little,
I put it up. That's why I
Yeah.
brought it in, because it reminded me of the bed and breakfast that we were in New
Right.
Smyrna Beach.
It's a little inn. The storm is raging out there. They're using candles. And well, what happened? And blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I'll just say this. And yeah, we don't have to do part 2. The people were fascinating. There was a guy there. This is like a movie, Rob.
Rob, you'll love
It's-
this.
It's like a comedy. There was a guy. He was like a character actor from a movie. In my view, he's like got a little kind of a trucker's hat on, and he's scraggly, and worn clothes and everything.
Heavy duty Southern accent.
Heavy duty Southern accent. I'm not making this up. I can't do voices, but literally, we would sit down and I would say something to him, and he would say, "Well, the waterman did Jimmy there. You gotta go to the big and well, and I
And we were
would
going,
look at-
yeah, definitely.
yeah. And I would
yeah.
look at Gary like, "Are you?" And we're like shaking our heads. I don't understand a word he's saying. It was such a deep, guttural, but it was.
But,
but we had
at that
conversations
time,
with him.
isn't it comforting?
We're on the front porch that looks like an old age home in a way, and a lot of these people that were there were not staying at the hotel. They were neighbors. They had already lost their power. So the
Yes.
woman that ran this place, and she was, as Tony said, amazing. She took in all these people.
Yeah.
And then she lost power, and she said to everybody, "But I'll continue to feed you all."
Yeah, that's
Somehow she found loaves of bread and sandwiches to me. She made stuff for every meal for everybody.
Yep.
Tony and I are trying to find if that hotel still exists
Yeah.
and if we can find that woman.
And let
She
me
was
say
amazing.
something about this. The group of people that was stuck there, today, if it happened today, I don't know that people would get along the way we all got along, because we're in such a divided time, and
We are.
people assume things. Oh, there's a black guy from the north. Oh, there's a southern guy who I can't even understand. Whatever. We were all just in it together, and it was great.
And if
I still
everyone
think
gets lost in their screens, they're not
Yeah.
going to make the effort to get along. When you guys are really facing a common foe.
Yeah.
And the only thing you can do is come together.
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful.
But I still think that in a crisis, people do come together. I was on a plane once where something that was bad happened, and it fixed itself. But everybody they were all looking at each other, and all of a sudden we were all orphans in the storm. And people were talking to each other, and we're going to be okay. And everybody did come together. I mean, it was 10 years ago, so who knows? But when it was all over, it was comforting to remember that everybody was concerned the same way. We're all so vulnerable.
I mean, if I was in that situation, I know I'd be looking, over everybody and trying to find, the most attractive woman that I could console
Yes.
in these final moments together.
And you would have cried. You would have cried, and you would have said, "I'm so sorry I got all of you on the plane in this situation." And if I was there, I would have said, "It's not your fault. Some of them were going to Europe. They're traveling."
You know who would really cry is that attractive woman.
Yes. Yes.
This is how I'm going
Last thing
down.
she needs. I'm just going to say, we got this
Exactly.
weather and this guy. Come
Yeah.
on.
Right.
All right,
Don't need
we are way over.
We're so
but-
done. We're so done.
But if you've hung in there, thank you so much. Let's divide it up. It's too late for me.
This
to
was
talk.
great. We should do another show. I think.
I think we
should
have
do
done
another
another
one.
show.
Let's start from the beginning.
Rob Spiewak, as always, thank you very much, man. Love you.
We
Love
love
you
your
guys.
guts
Thank you
and
for
more.
having me. Oh,
Yes.
you're sweet. Thank you.
Yep. Gary Stein, pleasure as always.
Love
and
you,
I love
brother.
you too.
I love you too. Big time.
And we thank you all very much for watching, for listening. Keep up the comments. We're going to post more social videos and all that kind of stuff. And remember to tell your friends. They can listen to us wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever. And you can watch us on YouTube. Just search You Gotta Be Kidding Me. That's it for this episode. We'll see you next time.
Can we get rid of the Warriors beginning? Can we do something about that? I mean,
He's chopped it
why?
short.
It's not helpful.
It's
I have to take a
Thank you for
tranquilizer though
listening
when
to
I
another episode of You
It's the movie
Gotta
I
Be
basically
Kidding
got cut out of.
Make sure you continue your visit on Facebook and Instagram. And don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And follow us on YouTube. This is Donnie Simpson speaking for You Gotta Be Kidding Me, a production of the Podcaster's Warehouse. And yes, I endorse this podcast. What? You gotta be kidding me.